Good morning, kindergarten. It's Mrs. McCosco. I have another wonderful book to share with you today. It's called Madeline Finn and the Library Dog. This is a brand new book that we just got into the library right before our break, so it'll be waiting for you when you get back. This book was written by Lisa Papp. Her name is right here on the front cover. So now we're going to just open up the book so I can start reading it to you. Let's make this a little bit smaller so we can get to the next page. And once again, I'm going to start reading to you from left to right. And this story is told by the little girl in the story whose name happens to be Madeline Finn. So she will be talking and telling the story. So this story begins, I do not like to read, not books, not magazines, not even the menu on an ice cream truck. And I especially do not like to read out loud. Keep trying, Madeline Finn, my teacher says. But sometimes I can't figure out the words. Sometimes the sentences get stuck in my mouth like peanut butter. Sometimes people giggle when I make a mistake. And I never get a star sticker from my teacher, not even a smiley face. Instead, I get a heart that says, keep trying. I get a lot of keep trying stickers, but I want the star. Stars are for good readers. Stars are for understanding words and for saying them out loud. But I know what else they're for. Stars are for making wishes. So I make a wish for my very own star. I guess wishes take a while because I don't get my star on Monday or Tuesday. Keep trying, my teacher tells me on Wednesday. On Thursday, I say the frog's name wrong. It's Samuel. I try to get away with Sam, but it doesn't work. Friday is no better. On Saturday, Mom takes me to the library. Hello, Madeline Finn, Mrs. Dimples says. She's our librarian. I don't like to read, I remind her in case she forgot. Oh, I remember, she says, but today we have something special, something you might enjoy. Let's turn the page and find out what it is. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to a dog? And this happens to be my favorite illustration in the book, boys and girls. I love looking at all these dogs, and a couple of them even remind me of my dog, Max, at home. Just a beautiful illustration on these 2 pages. Mrs. Dimple leads me over to a big white dog. This is Bonnie. Why don't you pick out a book to read to her? She's a great listener. Bonnie is beautiful, like a big snowy polar bear. Would you like to try? Mom asks. Yes, please, I say, but not very loud. At first, I'm nervous. I get the letters mixed up. The words don't sound right. But then I look at Bonnie, and she looks right into my eyes. She doesn't giggle. I feel better. I try again. Halfway through, I get stuck on another word. Bonnie doesn't mind. She puts her big paws in my lap and lets me pet her until I figure it out. After that, Bonnie and I read together every Saturday. It's fun to read when you're not afraid of making mistakes. Bonnie teaches me that it's okay to go slow and to keep trying, just like the sticker says. I still don't have a star, but I can be patient, like Bonnie. Soon it's almost time to read in class again. But when I go to the library, Bonnie's not there. Neither is Mrs. Dimple. Would you like to wait for another dog? The other librarian asks. No, thank you, I say as politely as I can. Don't worry, Mom tells me later. Bonnie was just busy today. But what about school? I ask. You'll do fine, she says. Just pretend you're reading to Bonnie. On Monday morning, I'm very nervous. Madeline Finn, would you like to read next? The teacher asks. Yes, please, I say, but still not very loud. The first sentence goes pretty well. Then I mess up on a word and then another, and I hear someone giggle. But then I think about Bonnie. I take a deep breath and pretend she's right next to me. Next thing I know, I'm at the bottom of the page. I look at my teacher and she has a big smile on her face. I did it! I got my star! On Saturday, we go to the library again. Mrs. Dimple is back. I got my star, I tell her. I want to give it to Bonnie. Well done, Madeline Finn, she says. I think Bonnie might have a surprise for you, too. Let's turn the page and see what the surprise is. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to Bonnie and her puppies? So that's why Bonnie wasn't at the library the week before. She was busy. She had puppies. Look how cute all of them are on this page. And we'll turn the page for the last one. Yes, please, I say nice and loud. And that was Madeline Finn's answer when the librarian asked if she wanted to read to Bonnie and her puppies. And I love how big Bonnie is compared to the size of Madeline Finn. And I'm going to just turn back a few pages when they first met and were reading together. So, boys and girls, this is another wonderful story, as I mentioned, that's new to our library. This book will be waiting for you to borrow from the library when you return. And this is a wonderful story to remind us of, first of all, how important it is to read out loud. If you have a chance, even if you're just beginning to learn to read, it's a wonderful thing to practice reading out loud, not just reading quietly in your head, but trying the words out loud. And this is also a great book to remind us to just go slow and keep trying when we're first starting to read. It's a wonderful practice to read out loud, maybe to try reading to a pet or a stuffed animal. They make really great listeners. Have a wonderful day of learning, boys and girls, and I will see you soon. Bye, my kindergarten friends.